guys, welcome back to Clockwork Danger Noodles, my Pain Train family. We're actually in for a very rare week. We get to experience the one thing that we haven't experienced yet, happiness. We actually get a very happy episode, despite the fact that in the comments of the last video, we were all mourning and we were sad and I was really upset. I took a bit of time to go and watch something a bit happier, but it was all for naught. And for once, To Your Eternity has done a fake out that is happy. With To Your Eternity, I know they've done a few fake outs before and eventually that person will die. But for now, it seems we are not mourning. I am very happy. Before we get going, guys, make sure you guys are subscribed. Very shortly next week, you're going to get my Winter 2023 review video. I am bringing to you a collection of what's coming your way that I'm interested in. So things I'm going to be watching in my spare time. I'm going to tell you what is going to be broken down on my channel, what's continuing, what's going to be broken down in video form. You guys might be interested in some new bits and pieces. And hopefully in that video too, you guys will learn all the bits and pieces that I plan to do on the channel, so make sure you don't miss out on that. And then after that, we're gonna have the end of season review where I will crown my top 3 anime. You guys get to tune in, see how I thought of the season as a whole, and we'll see if To Your Eternity can make that list, because I don't think I gave it a crowning in the midway. A bit further in now and things have happened, so we'll see if things have changed. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. I have missed you guys. I do love talking to you guys, my Pain Train family. Let's talk about episode 8. There were a lot of big rug pulls this week. I can't believe it. I still can't get my head around it, but Bon is alive and Fushi drugged everybody. And we know that he can create corpses. We've seen it before. Fushi can create a corpse if the person is still alive, which he now knows. The most important thing right now is the church believe that everybody is dead. They believe that Bon is dead. That's the main thing. So we know the church right now are not going to be tracking them down because they think they're dead. So that's the most important thing. So Fushi made it so he pulled off the stunt without wiping out the impact of Bon's sacrifice. So he couldn't have gone in there and rescued him because we already said we needed Bon to die. Otherwise they would never stop and his family would not be safe. So that was the key important thing. We have somehow managed to achieve this and get a very happy result, which is very happy for me. And we also get to see Rin. We haven't seen Rin for a very long time and I'm so happy she gets to narrate a little bit because it's nice to welcome her back to the table. And as we've spoken about recently, is the role of Fushi is divided amongst every single character that he's ever met, and that's quite nice as well. Obviously the main Fushi is the boy right at the start because he was the first speaking role. That is the guy who played Patrick from Shadow's House. But it's also nice to see the role of Fushi is becoming very dynamic. Everybody who he meets and he learns from, and once they die and he's moved by them, they become part of his soul. They make up part of him. They impact him in a way that they become part of his life. And I guess in a more metaphorical sense, the people you meet make you you. And I like the fact that he's literally a living embodiment of that. Somehow I am a little bit dubious that Ligard had enough drug on him to wipe everybody out to go sleep in that entire crowd. And he managed to hit everybody, and like everybody at that moment like breathed, because it does seem like a very split second he's able to get under the guillotine. That's a very split second that everybody is suddenly wiped out. A little bit dubious, but I am actually relieved because for once we have a fake out. And it's a good fake out. The Pain Train family this week, we get to share joy. We get to experience joy with one another. We get to have a happiness, which is great. I was really worried as well that because To Your Eternity is airing over the Christmas period, we would all feel miserable over the Christmas period. And right now, I am very happy. I am so relieved. For once, To Your Eternity has left me not needing to go and find another anime for joy, but actually be able to talk to you guys about the joy that I found in the anime itself. The experience. Bon has created a huge development arc for us to watch and witness. I didn't like Bon at the start, but I was open. Was suspicious of him, which I know irritated a few people. It's To Your Eternity, I had a right to be suspicious. He has come a long way. He's no longer that flamboyant, arrogant self that I wasn't keen on. He's real, realizes that the most important thing is the family around him, and he doesn't actually want to be king because I'm alive right now. I can be thankful. I don't get to be king, but I can see my family grow. I can see my parents grow old. I can be around my sister. I can watch them on the sidelines and I can still interact with them, which is probably the most important thing which he starts to realize. He's had such a big character growth. I'm very happy for him and it's nice to see him like this. He's now a very dynamic character that I'm very happy to watch, and I've seen a few reviews on Mal, mainly Mal, of people complaining about Bon. The score for To Eternity right now is very low for what it could have been, but it's because people don't like Bon, and I get that, but he's also a very dynamic character and I understand why he comes across the way he has been portrayed, and I think he could have been different, but I think you get the most impact and you can see a drastic difference with the way that he's been portrayed from that really OTT character to down to earth. It's such a big change. I do hope that To Your Eternity score does improve a little bit. It's a little on the unhealthy side. It is in the 8s, but it's clinging to the 8s. I do believe that even with the pain, that To Your Eternity is a solid 8. It doesn't deserve to go lower than an 8. I think I gave the first season a 9. We're very low compared to what I initially gave it. To Your Eternity's episode number 1, 10 out of 10. I could never be shaken by that episode. That episode is perfect for me. It's very interesting to see that Bon is the reason why people are not enjoying the second season. I really hope after this episode that isn't quite the case. Fushi himself has experienced a lot during this arc, and it does feel like we've come to an end of an arc, and I think it's the Bon arc. He realises that he can save people. This is the first time he's able to save someone, and he's so overjoyed. And seeing Fushi smile, you guys know me, I want nothing more than Fushi to get fat, smiling, happy, and just not be controlled by anybody. And it does seem this week I do get my wish, because he makes some friends. We have female friends. I love the garden party we have with Rin, Iris, and we've also got Poco. I think her name's Poco. Everyone looks amazing, and I love how happy he is. He's eating cake. He's finally able to forget some of that horrific trauma and eat cake with them, and I love it. How gorgeous is Iris? Iris is absolutely gorgeous, so beautiful, and I can see why Baron Springroll is now head over heels and realises that he's been the biggest idiot on the planet. That also explains why he goes laughing, walking off. If you don't know why he walks off, it's because he realises he's been the biggest fool. It's a great name. I do like the new look for him as well. I think it's a nice, fresh look. He's very youthful now. He looks a little bit like Kahaku, but he looks great, and I love the fact that he's able to join the table and talk to them. I love the fact as well that Rin is using the name Johan, which is the name of the wolf from the first episode, which is nice. Not Rin, I'm just going to call myself Johan because I don't think anyone knows that name and it's not written down, so I can get away with calling myself that. It's just great. It's a great moment. It's a great sequence. I love seeing Bon's heart going a little fluttery. I really don't blame him because Iris looks gorgeous and he starts to realise he's been the idiot. That's why he walks away laughing, because the huge twist was it wasn't a ghost that gave him that very important hanky that he's been keeping forever. It was Iris. I can't actually believe that either. I thought it was a ghost. I put it down to being ghosts because we had that initially used as what he can see. So I was like, okay, a ghost gave him something. But of course it doesn't make sense. Ghosts can't give you a physical object because they're no longer physical beings. Iris was the one who gave him that hanky, and all this time he's been like keeping hold of it. It's been the most important thing, and Iris has been under your butt because you've been sitting on her. You've literally used her as a chair. The person that you have been searching for who has had the biggest impact is your footstool. That's why he starts laughing. Chabo's response, oh, the brutality is so beautiful. Holy shit, dude. I can't. Language Chabo and Becca, but my goodness, that made me laugh so hard. I swallowed saliva. I was coughing and choking. Perfect. I'm so happy that Chabo is alive, and yes, I like the comment that we have adopted Chabo. We are a family. We are the Pain Train family. Chabo is now welcomed with open arms here because we are those kind of people. I love talking to you guys. You guys are just great. Of course, I completely forgot that Todo is dead. That name is now dead to the world. Iris and Springroll can start a new life together. I never thought we'd get the day when we saw the obligatory fireworks scene in an anime none other than To Your Eternity. The anime of pain is giving us the typical school romance. This is the moment we will go to the end of season festival. We're having it in To Your Eternity. The look of love between Iris and Springroll. For once, death is not what hangs in the air. It's possible that love is now in the air, and I'm so happy to say that because I never thought I would say it. I feel like I'm talking about a completely different anime right now. Sad to see that Bon is still seeing off ghosts as a chronic illness still. Sad about that, but I guess he realises it's for the best. Yes, did you notice that he was holding Chabo's hand when we were going to say goodbye to Fushi? That was so beautiful. He's adopted him. I'm so happy. But it did feel like Fushi was finally free to move on to a different arc. But it would seem that this arc is not done. This arc is coming back for a reprise. So sad, because Kohaku, you knock-blocked Fushi from learning the truth. What he wants more than anything is literally in his palm of his hands already. I want to use the word knock-blocking a lot more because, especially in the UK, that means boobs. So instead of cock block, we've got boob block. He was literally about to learn the truth, but of course, damn it, Kohaku, you've got to be extra right about now. Hayase is back. Oh, we have a good moment, and Hayase has to rear her ugly knocker head. And guess who she hates the most? My boy, the narrator, because I love my narrator. You guys know I love him. And they try to spin a little bit. They're like, oh, he's lying to you. And I tried to poison Fushi a little bit against him by going, he's actually a bad person. He's making people eternal. This is wrong. Yes, you might realise that the idea that death is freedom is very similar to what is being spouted by the Church of Bennett. Both the Knockers and Church of Bennett are against the idea of eternity. Like, no one but Bennett, the Knockers, well, nobody in their eyes should be eternal. Nobody has that right. And they are all about the idea that the narrator is imprisoning people by saving them and turning them into these immortal friends. And that is wrong. That is what their stances are. I was a bit confused. I'm trying to simplify it. Hopefully I've done the simplification right for you guys. The Knockers hate the narrator because he's pro-life. He's all, I want to make your friends eternal. I want to preserve the world that you are in. The Knockers, however, are all death. They're heavy metal death metalheads and they want death. They don't like the narrator. And they do tell us that they are after the head of the church, which awkward because I don't like them right now. And I was almost like, yay! But I was like, okay, no, that's bad. Okay, I get it. We need to go in, annoyingly save the head of the church, even though that's technically gonna erase everything, and now they're gonna realise that Fushi's still alive, but I get it. Sad because it looked like Hayase was gonna steal Bon's moment by telling Fushi about the fact that Fushi can bring people back. Because it goes, oh, Fushi can't make people eternal, and then suddenly, by the way, and then you see Bon rubbing out the writing because he knows where it's going. That also tells us, the audience, that people made by Fushi, if they come back, and especially the girl who's already been brought back, they're not just brought back for a second time. They are eternal. And you gotta let me do it, guys. Roll credits to your eternity. It's in the title. Eternity is forever. It's never ending. It could be in front of us. The narrator is fighting for eternity for everybody. Everybody that Fushi has been impacted by, all of his friends, all the people he loves the most. At some point, be all in the same scene and alive. I want you all to get hyped for this because this is going to be one hell of a scene if it ever ends like that. We are fighting for your eternity. Fushi's eternity. If you're going to be eternal and you're preserving people to also be eternal and they're all your friends, you've just created heaven. Everybody around you is going to be alive and they're all going to be people who you love and who have touched your life. I did think, however, with Hayase, it's a little bit ironic and contradictory that they hate eternalness. But yet Hayase has pretty much made themselves eternal by being reborn over and over again and implanted in all these girls and Kahaku's arms. A little bit pot kettle black there. But we do get the most important answer this week, Fushi's answer to Bon. And it also puts Fushi right slap bang on the narrator's side. I'm very happy again. He would love nothing more for his friends to be eternal. The most painful thing ever is never seeing them again. Never being able to talk to them, see them happy. And I love Fushi so much. I really do. That response is a beautiful response. You know, I was really worried at one point that he was going to turn on the narrator. And I know we don't know enough about him and he could still be a bad person. But right now, Fushi is my importantness. I love Fushi. I want Fushi to be happy. And if him being able to share eternity with all the people that he loves could be a thing. Game. I understand, obviously, the morality about living forever. But if you could live forever with your friends, no one would ever die. Argument about eternity is people don't want it because everybody around you would die. It would be boring. But if you enjoyed all those people's companies and they couldn't die, so you're not actually going to be alone, it sounds a bit more appealing. The narrator wants eternity to preserve. The Knockers want death. That's the most simplified version. I'm sure it's a bit more complicated, but that's the most simplified version. Hopefully that helps you guys and me. We end with Fushi and his determination to fight. I am here to fight. I am not going to hide. It's a little bit scary because it means he's going to have to reveal the fact that he's alive to the church. I do worry that it's going to undo everything. But obviously, Bon doesn't look like Bon anymore, so he's safe at the most because he's coming after Fushi. I'm happy about that. He's going to save Fushi, but I'm worried that Bon chasing after Fushi will actually result in him finally dying. That I don't want to happen. That would be sad, and that's why I'm worried that this fake out is only half a fake out and it's actually still going to happen. But we will have to see. Fushi has realised that the Knockers are his enemy and he doesn't agree with what they stand for. So next week we are going into a battle. Hopefully it's going to be interesting fight and it's animated. I hope it looks good. It does seem like it's going to be Fushi on the off foot because he seems to be losing vessels. It apparently makes Fushi want to strive to be stronger, which we can all support. We can all support Fushi wanting to be better and improve himself. I am so happy to be leaving you guys on a happy note now. Thank you guys again for tuning in. You guys mean the world to me, all of your support. It makes me look forward to breaking this video down with you guys. I'm sorry it's a day late. We've had blizzards. It's been a very busy time for the last few days, but I think it is now subsiding, so I'm back to normality with you guys. Apologies for a day delay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love all of you guys. Bye bye.